That was Gregory Luster on AVA Live Radio's Behind the Music, guys, with his song Breathe. Gotta love it. Can't wait to talk to him. Hey there, Gregory.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, I can. What is
Good.
So are you ICE officially?
Well, that's the story. My stage name used to be Ice, but I'm in the process of trying to change it to use my real name, which is Gregory Luster. I'm in the process of trying to trademark, my name so nobody else can get it. So Ice is just so plain. Everybody has it. Iced tea, Ice Cube, Vanilla Ice. Everybody has Ice. So I just want to use something that nobody has.
Well, God bless for that, because I think that the stronger brands always have to do with the real person, and it's okay to have an AKA, but like you said, it doesn't feel like it's the right one for you. It doesn't feel like it's the right fit. And you got to go with what it is that you feel is the most comfortable for you, because that's really the right place that you should be. Those are the instincts kicking in, and we always got to trust our instincts,
Right. Exactly.
So Tell me about your song and your music. It's very inspirational. Do you typically drive that kind of force home with everything that you do?
Well, actually, with that song, I'll tell about the song first. Basically, with that song, I was actually going through a lot. I was going through some financial struggles. I was going through problems with family members, friends, just everything. It seemed like everything that I put my hands on kind of crumbled. And so, it was just a song out of frustration, a song out of just basically just crying out to God, like, hey, you need to help me out. Like, I can't, this is something that I just can't do. Like, I put my hands up to you. I'm waving my white flag. You got to help me out. So, basically it's just a song of pouring my heart out to, with my feelings and basically letting anybody know that's out there that's listening, hey, look, artists, they're nothing but human beings just like everybody else. We go through the same struggles as you. I don't want anyone to put us on pedestals like we're, above anybody. We go through the same thing. So that's, just a little inspiration.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great that you're using your art to get your message out there, because that's really what all of us as fans really want to hear from you. You know what I mean? We want to connect with you on that level of, you feel our pain, we feel yours. Whatever emotion it is, if you're happy that day, we want to connect with you on the happiness. If you're sad that day, then you need to talk about it. There's nothing wrong with sharing that kind of stuff out there, because people are real people in social media just like they are right in your world. And I feel like the more that you open up, the more people you become relatable. And it's really important to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just therapeutic. You've got to share stuff with your fans and let them know what's going on.
Exactly. And that's the crazy part about it is I was just talking about that with one of my friends the other day, and some people have different ways of showing their feelings, which is some people may go to a person and talk to them, one of the professional people to talk to them, or they have journals that they write in. But me, I get out my feelings through music. That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me feel better. So,
I love that you do that, and that is a very therapeutic thing to do for sure. I know that, the side of me that does music is a very private side, and I typically am not known for doing music, but the people that are closest to me, they know that I have music in my life, and I always have, and that I've had a very musical family background. But it's still something that I do just for me. And whether it becomes, something that's a career, it's not really something that I was ever shooting for a career, because I love to do the radio show, and that's what I do, 24/7, is spend time with you guys. But that's what it does for you. When you turn on music, it fills a space and changes everybody's mood, doesn't it? It's wonderful.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Music is a powerful tool. Like, a lot of people don't realize it, but you can really change a person's perspective on how they view life just by the type of song that you play for them.
Yeah, so true. I know, you can. I bet you a lot of people have written into you and said that you've really affected them with your music.
Yes, ma'am. Honestly, they have, and it's been more than actually what I expected. I just got a message probably about 2 weeks ago from a girl that she lives out. I want to say in the United Kingdom or something like that, and she
Mhm.
wrote me a message about, I believe it was the song that you just played, "Breathe," and she said that I listened to your song and everything that you were describing. It seems like you wrote that song personally for me because that's exactly what I've been going through. I've been feeling like everything has been going wrong in my life. So what
Yeah.
you said in your song inspired me to to do better and to know that everything is going to be all right. I just have to you know trust God and pray about my situation and keep it moving. I don't have to look at the negative all the time. So that kind of made me feel good because us artists, being an independent artist, it's not easy. We have
No.
our days where, well, I can speak for me anyway. We have
Mhm.
our days where I just feel like stopping. Like I don't feel like doing it anymore because it kind of feels like you're not getting anywhere with it, and things aren't really going right with your music. And
Yeah.
then out of nowhere, you just get things like that, where if a person writes to you and tells you how important that song is to them, and that reminds you of why you're doing it.
Yeah, one of your fellow music members is in the check in Periscope. John Cox is there, and he says, "Yep, I've been there for sure." And I know we can all relate to that. For there's no doubt in
Right,
my mind.
exactly.
It can be a daily struggle, but for the most part, being creative and being in a creative field, although you're so in touch with your emotions, I feel like you live a happier and longer life as a result of it. And that's one of
That's
the
true.
things that I try to remind people when they don't have that in their lives and they're working those jobs that they can't stand and they have no passion to do outside of that. It's really, you're doing yourself an injustice because you need that outlet, you need that balance in life, and music is one of those things that
Exactly.
really offers that.
Exactly. Exactly. It's to me, it's like you can hand me $1 million to do something every day that I absolutely hate, and it's
Yeah.
just like, what would be the point? Yeah, you would have money, but if your everyday job is something that you absolutely hate and you don't like to do it, then what's the point of doing it? I would rather be happy doing what I love to do every single day and be broke than to be the
Mhm.
richest person in the world and absolutely hating the job that I, don't, that I do every day. So
Yeah,
that's
I
just
know.
me.
Isn't that the truth? How do you feel about the music business today for you? I mean, you're in North Carolina. Talk about, what it's like there to do music and produce music and how you feel the business is good or bad. What are the pros and cons for you?
Well, see, honestly, one thing that I've learned over the years doing music is artists in North Carolina don't. It seems like they don't work together. Like you'll see other artists move from North Carolina to places like Atlanta, New York, or even places like California. They'll move to other places because it seems like other artists will pull each other up and help each other to work together. It seems like artists in North Carolina, it's all about me, me. If you can't get yours, oh well. Like that's the type of mentality that it seems like all of these artists have. And I've been really considering moving to somewhere like Atlanta. I haven't quite made up my mind yet, but it's a very hard industry to get into. You've got to be at the right place at the right time, know the right people, and it's just all the stars have got to line up, and God has to have a really great plan for your life in music in order for you to just to make it. It's not one of those things where you can just make it overnight. I like the previous artist that you had on talking. She was like,
Mhm.
it's a constant grind. It's not something that's going
Mhm.
to happen overnight, and
No.
and that's true.
Yeah, it's so true. But I mean, it's a constant grind because we look at it like a business, and we do really want it to become our sole source of support. But with that comes the drawbacks of, is it going to sell? And like if I'm true to what I really want to do right now, is that going to be the most popular song that everybody's going to love? And it's not always going to be like that. And so that
Oh yeah.
kind of starts to affect you when it starts to be your sole source of income, you know?
Oh
So
yeah.
then we kind of slide into those other areas of like, okay, so if I get into fashion linked to my music brand or other sources that are linked to my music brand, might that be a better way of funding things? Or do I do like pre-starter type of things? In other words, I get one great single out, people love it, they're all like, you know, thinking that's just the best thing they've ever heard. So therefore the fans are ready to get behind a pre-sale of an album before they actually get the product, and that gives you that power and that creative energy to be able to be a little more free. Is that the business model of today's indie artists? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, me personally, I can't speak for other artists in general, but I can speak for me. What really helps me to keep going or driving is to look at it like this. You know, I can't expect someone to buy an album or to buy this or buy that when I'm no further along than anybody else that's trying to do the same thing I'm doing. So I like to give away my music. You know, every once in a while I'll throw a single out that I want fans to buy, but 9 times out of 10, my music, I just want it to get into the hands of the people. You know, I want them to listen to it. I want them to know who I am, what I'm about, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and, you know, hopefully they like it. If they like it, they do. If they don't, then, you know, pass it to somebody who may like it, and that's just my motto. I feel like, you know, I'm going to give my music for free until it gets me to a point to where you want to buy it, like you want to, you know, donate or you want to do this. So
yeah. No, good thing. And it's different for everyone. It's all depend on your individual goals and how it speaks to you and what you're most comfortable with. And like I said, like we started, the best thing is to trust your instincts on this stuff and have a great time every single day that you're in this journey, because overall that's what it's all about in life, is enjoying your days. You know, it's not all about just making money, and there's other things you can do to you know, support your income if you don't want to just focus on making the money through the music. But it's in the end it's still challenging though, right? I mean, how do you balance your time with your families, your financial responsibility, your spiritual life? You've got a lot to balance. How do you balance it?
Well, see, you know, to me, it's even harder to be a Christian or a gospel artist, because you have to. I don't know. A lot of people tend to not go or lean towards Christian hip hop or music, the type of music that I do, because they feel like it's not the same as the regular hip hop or secular hip hop or whatever. So the way that I balance things is I try to look at it like this. You know, I have certain times and days that I want to spend with my family. Then, you know, once those times are over with, I usually wait until everyone is asleep in my house, and then that's when I'll use that time to work on my music. So everybody's usually asleep by no later than 11 o'clock at night. So after that, that's my time. I'm up. I'm doing music.
Like,
so,
hey.
Like, hey, this is my time. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm not going to worry about what you're doing. You just sleep. So that's how I balance it. And then, you know, of course, I go to church on Sundays. So, you know, I try to balance it out as much as I can. But it gets rough. It gets rough.
Hey, I hear you. I'm a late night person, and there's very, very many days, as you know, if you watch me on Periscope, that people are catching me in the studio until 3:00 in the morning so I can get stuff done, because I've taken time to go do something for me.
Right. Exactly.
That's just the way it rolls. You know, that's the way my life rolls, and I'm good with it, because if I don't get 8 hours of sleep one night, I can catch up the next. So, you know, it's just all about getting the time in when the inspiration is there, and I think that's the most important. So luckily, hopefully you get inspiration at night, because that's when the time is there.
Right, exactly. Sometimes you can't help but, you know, do your music, because sometimes that's when it comes, is at night. You know, you can't, it won't let you sleep. It'll wake you up out of your sleep. I know it does for me anyway.
That's when everything settles down. It's the quiet that comes at night. You know, the streets
Right.
are really quiet. People are quiet. There's not as much busyness going on electronically or in your phones or on, out in your surroundings. And your home feels that settle. And when your
Oh
home
yeah.
feels the settle, your body feels the settle. And that's when you start to get the most creative. That's typically what happens with creative people, you know?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Very much so. So, what is your view between launching a single versus launching an album in today's music world? What's better for you?
Well, right now, what's worked for me is launching singles. It takes more time to launch albums.
Yeah.
Not saying that I'm not going to do it. I already have a mixtape out now. I'm
Mhm.
working on my second one, but right
Yes.
now I've just been focusing on creating music, putting it out there, seeing which ones people like, which ones they don't like, keeping my ears to the streets to see, what's hot now and what's not, and kind of mixing that in with what I do, and just doing pretty much the same process that most people do, is putting out singles, and
Mhm.
and that
Yeah.
that seems to work for me. So
I think it's fun. I like the
right,
energy of the singles. I do like with social media, let me not be misunderstood. It's good too to do the album because you can launch pieces of making that album and make that a whole year's project that you come out with through social media, especially with the addition of Periscope. You could write the
exactly,
songs with people on Periscope. You can show them what the pre-stuff looks like. You can take them through all of the process. So I'm not saying that really it's almost like the same as launching a single because you're drawing the audience through every single item but not officially releasing it until the album comes out, which might be kind of fun because people would stick with you and
right,
see how you're doing.
exactly.
But the tools just definitely give us the power of both. Well, it's been so nice talking to you. I love having you on the show, and you've got such great inspiration for so many of our newbie artists that are coming out there. I love your perspective, and thanks for sharing it with us today, Gregory. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Thank you for having me on, and thank you. I shout out to AVA Live Radio. I really appreciate y'all having me on, and thanks to everything that you guys do for independent artists like myself.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We try to take all of your suggestions into account and make sure that everything that we're offering and doing out there is right in alignment with what you guys need. So don't hesitate to shoot us an email because we're always here from you. You are part of our music community now, so I hope that you'll never leave us and just keep us in the loop as far as what you've got coming out next and let us celebrate that all together.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if I'm ever down that way, if I have a show, I would definitely come, and I want to talk to you face to face. So that'll be good.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Good deal. For sure. Have a great day, Gregory.
Thank you. You too.
That was Gregory Luster for AVA Live Radio's Behind the Music series, calling us from North Carolina. Loving his music, loving what he has to offer, and his perspective is really not so different